Alrighty, folks. So before I begin feeding here in our lagoon, I want to give you all a little bit of history on it itself. This is actually man-made. It was dredged out back in the 50s. Oh yeah, there's the big guy. So yeah, this was all dredged out back then. It is directly connected and fed by the block of cut, which you can see just past those beige barriers. So this naturally fluctuates along with our tides. We'll have too high and too low every day. So this does naturally fluctuate for us, changing the water level, the visibility, and even things like temperature. Each of our lagoon areas has its own section. So we've got nets that are underneath each bridge here to isolate some of the larger species. So we got Goliath Basin and Tarpon Basin sectioned off from that front half, which is our lagoon snorkel. Of course, this area gets its namesake, housing our biggest fish. You guys just got a good view of them there. That'd be Big George. Now this animal is a Goliath grouper weighing in over 300 pounds, estimated to be pretty close to about 350. We do this feed twice a day here for them. And the way that I initiate feeding time with this animal is by using this dive rattle. I'm going to rattle that underneath the water for a couple of seconds. He has the association with this sound and with fish.
He's going to come up with big fish. He's going to come up. You'll see. Keep looking in the water.
Right. I'm also going to be feeding this animal using a feeding stick. When he's hungry, which it looks like he very might well be, he knows that he needs to come all the way up to the surface for me to grab onto that fish. That's not only so you folks can get a really good view of them, but as a marine biologist here, each and every time I'm working with any of our animals, I'm taking in conditions like their body, how they're looking, and just general health, making sure that we're all pretty good here.
It's a feeding stick. She's putting a fish on there for
I will
the
also be
big
receiving
fish.
a few chunks of fish here today, and I'll go into details why he does not get a ton of food like you might think. Alright, but first off, a little bit about this species. Goliath groupers are the second largest grouper in the world. They can get up to 800 pounds and a good 8 feet in length. That's pretty comparable to staring down a Volkswagen Beetle. They are only second, here he is.
Oh my goodness, you see it, Wesley?
They're only second to the Queensland grouper. You're going to find them over Australia, and they can get upwards to 1,000 pounds.
Wesley's scared.
It is currently grouper season, but if you ever happen to catch yourself a Goliath, you got to immediately release that fish, as they have been protected since the 90s. A big reason for that protection is this big animal was overfished for throughout the 70s and 80s. Another big thing, aside from being overfished, is that they're taking out a bunch of juveniles. And they didn't realize with such a large animal, they are very slow growing and much later maturing in life. So you can take
Here he comes.
you can see where that would take a really big toll
not sure if he
on
wants
an animal's
anymore yet.
population count.
Is he full?
Another big factor that played a part in the decrease of Goliaths. Back then, we also didn't realize how important the red mangrove Goliaths are still illegally hunted for. Secondly, they've been taking into consideration mercury levels. Fish can accumulate mercury in their body, and a big fish like a Goliath can have enough in there that's not even safe for human consumption. So there's a fair chance we might never see Goliaths being opened back up.
Oh, is that a different kind of fish or smaller piece?
The Goliath grouper itself is an ambush predator. Most other species of grouper are going to be active